What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The focus on this video is going to be a guide on how to do the 0-hour heroic mission. This is a mission that gives you the catalyst for Outbreak Perfected. The mission itself can be found via the EDZ, and it's right next to the farm. Now this only unlocks once you complete the normal version being what gives you Outbreak Perfected itself. I do have a video on the normal version as well, so if you're having trouble with that mission, definitely check that out. I go into some of the different details about that. I go pretty slow through the jumping part so you guys see exactly where to go. But if you're still having trouble, I do live streams here on YouTube as well, and I've helped 12 people so far get this weapon. So I'm going to keep doing those live streams. Easiest way to find those guys is to be subscribed and to have notifications on. That way you can jump right into those streams. So hopefully I see you guys there. But let's talk about the heroic version. This is even more difficult. Not only is the power level recommended 700, so this is the highest power level in the game, but also the jumping part for this is even more tricky than the normal version. So we'll go into that in detail here in just a second. But let's look at the weapons and armor I'm using because a lot of the same things apply. So for myself, I'm going to use the Night Watch. This is a good scout rifle to use. Explosive payload on this particular version, and I'm using a major spec because there is a lot of orange bar enemies. I'm going to use the Jotunn fusion rifle. This is an awesome weapon if you guys have it. Extremely useful in this mission against all the enemies as well as the bosses. And I'm rounding things out with the Hammerhead machine gun. Now I did throw a boss spec on here. I was kind of conflicted if I should use a surrounded one or not, but I figured I'd use a boss spec because at least I know I'm always going to get that benefit against vehicles and the bosses at the end. The key thing here though is to make sure that no matter what weapons you use, make sure that you have armor pieces that complement those weapons. So for instance, because I'm using Jotunn, I have armor that has fusion rifle scavenger, fusion rifle loader, I have special ammo finder, and I have fusion rifle reserves. All of these things are going to make Jotunn even more effective, and that's going to be helping me out throughout the entire mission. It is nice to throw some mods on here as well, so I'm using mostly ordnance mods, and that's only because I'm using a Fallen Armaments mod that will give me heavy ammo whenever I kill a Fallen with a grenade. So all these armor pieces here are kind of working together. This is a really useful mod, the Armaments one. If you don't have it, it is from the Scourge of the Past raid, and it is super clutch in this mission. But make sure that no matter what you're using, you have synergy between your weapons and your armor. So let's jump right into the mission itself. I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can, but also explain the different encounters and also explain the jumping part. So let's do that. As I'm loading into here, it is important to keep in mind the fire team that you're using. So for instance, I'm using a Void Hunter right now. As a matter of fact, all three of us are using Void Hunters. Now it is good to have some balance there too. So if you have somebody using a Void Nova Bomb, for instance, that pairs extremely well with the tether. The tether itself is really clutch here, especially if you have the Orpheus Rigs. This is probably a must for this mission because you're going to get your super back pretty much every single time, especially if you're tethering a lot of the stronger enemies. So this is a really good mod to have, or a really good exotic piece to have, and it's just a great class overall for this mission. Now the jumping part can be a bit more challenging with this class. I'm hoping I don't mess up, but we'll see once we get in there. So this is pretty much it. Make sure you have synergy between your weapons and your armor, and make sure you have a good balance with your fire team. Totally recommend having a fire team for this, especially the heroic. It is so tough to do, so make sure that you guys have a pretty coordinated team and one that has gotten some practice in. It's likely going to take you a few tries for this. I know for me it took me a number of attempts to do this, so don't feel bad if it takes you a few tries. Alright, we're here, we're in the mission, let's jump right into the heroic. The toughest part about this, as always, is the 20-minute time limit. Now I will go over some other things that are unique to the heroic version as well, namely the exotic blueprint. I'll talk about that for a second once we get to that point. But for right now, let's jump right in here and try to get some kills and avoid dying. So Jotunn is going to smack things all the time. I just got to make sure I'm conscientious about using my grenades when I can, using them against the weak enemies if I can to get heavy ammo back, but also to taking out these guys as best I can. If you're on your Void Hunter like I am, use that dodge ability to get your reload right away. That's going to save you a lot of time here. So we cleared that first room. Oh, we cleared that first room in 45 seconds. And I almost forgot the Void configuration. Goat is the man. Goat, thank you so much for that. I almost blew it again. So here's the void configuration. It is found in the beginning, and that will allow you to do the exotic blueprint quest. Go, thank you so much. Like I said, guys, you want to have a good fire team for this. So we cleared that first room pretty quick. If it wasn't for me forgetting that, we would be even faster. But we have a little bit of time here to make up. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so this is where the major spec is going to come in handy. I've seen people use bows as well. That can be a good weapon to use. It is long range. I do recommend taking these guys out right away, because the shanks, they will snipe you and take you down really fast. So let's try to get these guys down. If I had gotten him down sooner, that may have saved goats. So that was my fault. Alright, we're going to take these guys down quick. Again, Jotunn is just smacking these dudes. Wasted shot, but no big deal. Alright, so we're going pretty fast. We're through the first two encounters there in 2 minutes. This is the exact same as the normal version so far. So nothing has changed other than the fact that that void configuration was there that I almost missed. So let's keep going. So we got some vandals here in the distance, same as before. You want to take those guys out. Alright, so let's keep going. Take down this snipe guy here as well. And we'll shoot a tether there. No point in saving it because I want to get orbs from these guys anyway. And we're going to take these dudes out as best we can. So Jotunn is just so good to use against these things. If you guys don't have that, I do have a video on that as well. It is counterintuitive, but you have to complete the frame no matter what at the Berguzia Forge. But hopefully you guys have this weapon because it is super clutch here. Again, I want to make sure I'm using that reload ability as best I can with the dodge. All these little small things here could save you time. If you can res your teammate, absolutely do it. That's going to save a lot of time too. So right now, Goat's using the Aikilo shotgun. That still does major work in this mission. Alright, so we cleared that with 16:20. Anything above 16 minutes is good. Anything, honestly, in the 15 minutes is good. Alright, so that's that. I got a grenade kill there as well. Always helps. I'm going to try to get back here really quick and get some orbs, if I can get out of those guys' way. Sorry about that. Alright, this way we have nearly got a super back. I'm going to reload here. And these dudes cleared that out super fast. Let's keep going. Same thing as before, guys. This is the exact same as the normal version. We're rushing past as much as we can, trying to save as much time as we can. I want to try to get one of these guys with a grenade. If I can, great. I'm almost full for heavy ammo anyway. But we got 8 shots there from a grenade kill. The Fallen Armaments mod are so good in this. And right now, it looks like PB is using Riskrunner. Riskrunner is amazing in this mission, guys. You want to make sure you have some good balance between your team. Part of that is subclass. Part of that is the weapons themselves. And I know right now we're using 3 hunters, but having a good balance in weapons is clutch too. Alright, so we're clearing these. As you notice there, you have to clear all the enemies out before that shield opens up. Almost fell off the edge. Almost fell off the edge again. Jeez. Alright, let's keep going. Sometimes slower is definitely faster here, guys, but I digress. Let's keep going. Here's where it finally changes up on us. Now, instead of going towards the ship, we have to go off to the right and find this one vent right here. So our first key card, if you guys are going for the void configuration, is right over here. I'm going to grab that really quick and try to catch up to these guys. Let's grab that key. Let's double back. That's the first one. There's a blue key. And you can only grab that, of course, if you have gotten the void configuration as well. So now let's keep going here. Dropping down. Dropping down again. Alright, now here we are in this particular room right here. Our goal now is to use number 3. And primarily you want to do that by opening up number 3. PB is going to open that up for us. And Goat is going to use his stompies to trying to jump up. It is a tough jump to do, but it is possible. So here we go. Let's keep going here. Oh jeez, a bad jump. Again, guys, the jumping part for this is a lot more difficult. But we want to take our time here as best we can. And I am messing up, so I want to switch to the stompies. Don't be afraid to switch to the stompies here if you have them. I do find some of these jumps to be a lot easier without the stompies. But for this one right here, when we're trying to cover a lot of ground here, it's better to use these, I think. Alright, so that's that. Keep going here. I'm going to switch back to the Orpheus Rigs because, number 1, they're better for the boss. Number 2, they're a lot better, I think, for the outside part, which we're going to be at here in just a second. Alright, so this part here is kind of tough as well, but once your first teammate gets over there, they can grab a switch, and that'll make it easier. But just for the sake of me grabbing it, I'll grab it right now. Ooh, I deactivated it. I'm sorry. Let me activate it. Almost cost Goat there, especially after he helped me with the void configuration. Let's keep going. Alright, so now we're here, and the second key is over in this direction. So you want to drop down here, and the second key, the green key, is right here. You'll know you're in the right room because this is what leads you to the outside area. Now, me personally, like I said, I'm going to use the normal jump boots because this part is tough, and I find it easier for the hunter to not have the stompies on. So you want to go through here, and you got to scale basically the outside of the tower. This is where you don't want to look down because this part is tough. Definitely the hardest, I think, on the hunter is this part right here. So we're just going to keep going, and if you're the first one to come out here, there's going to be birds on all these, and the birds kind of lead you in the right direction. So we're going to jump up to these, jump up to these, and then we're going to keep going. Now we have some more difficult parts here. Don't look down, like I said, because really easy to lose your balance here. So we're going to jump down to this platform now. And I just find it a lot easier on the non-stompy jump here. I just find it quite a bit easier for the hunter. Alright, so now on this part here, as soon as this piece comes out, we're going to basically jump across. And I like to jump down to here. I know you can jump to that next one, but I like to be a little bit safer and jump down to there. And once you're here, you just kind of jump out a little bit and jump up. Again, I know you can go faster here, but it's better to get done it than die a few times and go all the way back. Alright, so here we are. We're going through. Now, let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I think I am. Yes, the next key, the last key, is back here, I think. Am I? Yes, back here. I'm sorry. Here it is right here. The last key, the red key, is right there. So now that we have all 3 keys, now we can do the void configuration puzzle. And I will link a video for that. CB Gray made a video on that. I think he was one of the first people to solve it. So I'll link a description for that. For this one here, you got to go a little bit faster when you're sliding down this, because you do need the momentum, and you got to be careful not to die. So this one's really easy to die on. I've had some funny moments on that in the past. Alright, so now we're through that. Again, the jumping part for this is a lot more difficult than the normal version. So let's keep going here. Let's keep going. And we're going to make our way now to the fan. So we're finally at the fan portion right now. And you can see how much longer that jumping part is for the heroic version. It's a lot more difficult. So let's keep going here. We're going to jump down the fans. Again, I know you can be faster here, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry. It's a lot easier to mess this up if you're trying to rush things. Alright, so a couple more jumps to go. And I messed up. I tried to rush at the end. That's my fault. But hey, we're not going to edit that out. We're going to leave our mistakes. So now I just got to be a little bit more careful here, even more so now. This jumping puzzle is really tough, guys, so don't feel bad if you make some mistakes. I know I've made a few mistakes during streams as well. They are recoverable, though, as long as you can keep your composure. Let's keep going downwards here. PB is off. I think PB is down near the Trevor section, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Yes, Trevor is a portion of this step as well, the heroic. Let's keep going here, though. So these guys have already gotten through here, and this helps me out a lot, the fact that they already have this part done, because I can jump across here a lot more easily with these platforms out. I've noticed that this part for me is always giving me trouble, but that's alright. So now, just for a frame of reference here, normally for the normal version, I'm through that part with about 10 minutes left, maybe 11 minutes left even. So I'm going a lot slower here on the heroic, just because that jumping part is a lot longer. So here we are, we're dropping down into the ventilation system. We're dropping down to our buddy Trevor. And I hope he's not here. I'm running down through here. He goes on a set path. It is a robot of death. And I'm trying to get down to the door. It looks like Trevor's on his way over here. So I want to be safe. Better safe than sorry, I think. Oh, he's going backwards, I think. Alright, so I can... Looks like he's going towards the door. I'm trusting that these gentlemen have the doors done. Obviously, because I'm making the video here, I'm just focusing on doing the video. Alright, so let's get over here. The door is open. Okay, I'm making my way up here now. These guys are way further ahead of me. You guys saw me mess up a few times in the fan part. You guys saw me mess up a few times back just in general throughout this. This is a much more difficult mission. Now, if you did switch to the Stompy Boots, I would recommend on this part switching back. You can scale up the walls here as well, but just for the sake of not messing up, I'm going to focus on doing the normal jumps. So let's go through here. We have about 6 minutes left. This part here, a little pinball action. You just want to maybe jump a few times to not get killed when you hit the ground, because that will kill you. Go through here, make an immediate right. And now we're going to be near the end of this. So we're near the boss section. I'm dropping down into the vault, make a hard right, and this is where you got to go. Now, these guys probably hit the switch, but just in case they didn't, you have to go on a path. And if you watch closely, you can see the path I'm going on. If I don't run on these, I'll die. But the first guy through can always hit that switch right there, and that will make those non-hostile. So we got 5.5 minutes left here. This is going to be a really, really close run, but luckily I have a good amount of ammo. And fortunately, these guys are down here already taking care of business. Once the music picks up, you know it's getting hectic. Alright, dropping down here as well. Now, the first thing I recommend, guys, is taking out the turrets on the left and the right. So we'll take those out. These guys already did a lot of damage here already, which is amazing. I'm going to leave that special ammo there because I know my scavenger will get me more than just 4 shots. So I want to get a couple in here if I can. Tether this guy. Try to get these guys back. The Orpheus Rigs are amazing. You saw I got my special back right away. Work on getting this guy down. Now, if you can tether that and use a Nova Bomb, that's going to take down nearly every single one of those guys. Okay, so we're working towards this. We're pretty much giving ourselves supers back left and right because of this. And I think it's worthwhile to always go for the same tank, or at least have 2 guys go to one and then 1 guy go to the other. We'll go to this one first, and let's keep working at it. This is where I want to make sure I use my dodge ability if I can. So dodge a little bit, get my ammo back right away. And ideally we'll take this guy down. Yes, that's super clutch there. Getting him down right there was really useful. Now we can go take out the other tank over here. And then pretty much we have to take down the last guy. This is just like before. You got to take down all the enemies to win. Ouch. Unfortunate. Alright, well done. That's great. Now these guys have a super as well, so I'm not going to be... If I was the only tether here, I would not use that right there. But I think in this particular case it didn't matter. So we got 3 minutes here. We got plenty of time. If you're going for the time trial, then definitely do it on the normal version, just because that is so much easier than the heroic. This is different than Whisper of the Worm, where Whisper, heroic, and normal are pretty much identical. This is a lot more difficult. So we're going to keep using Jotunn. Jotunn is so good here. Alright, that's pretty amazing there. We have 2:45 left on the clock. Definitely room for improvement. We could go a lot faster than that. As you saw, I messed up quite a few times here. So this is one where it's certainly doable. These two guys are amazing players. We're getting hit by somebody else, but that's not a big deal. These are amazing players. If this was you right now, you guys would get the catalyst. And this is also how you guys progress a catalyst as well. I did mention the CB Gray. He made that void configuration. I will link that again in the description so you guys know how to do that. I'll also link a helpful tool if you guys are trying to get that done. But that's worthwhile to do because that'll give you more progression each week towards that. If you don't do configuration, it'll take you 5 weeks to get this done. If you do the configuration, you can get it done in 3. So I want to make this video, guys, because I made that one for normal. So I was going to make one here for the heroic version as well. If this was helpful, guys, let me know in the comments below. As always, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Always appreciate that. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We'd love to see you guys in the live streams. Want to give these guys a shout out as well. These guys are amazing players. So thank you both for helping me out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch up soon. See you guys.